the effect to draw a card, special summon out that hat tricker that we just drew, and then we can go into the Shiaru class carrier. It's as easy as that. So hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are doing Suship. I just want to say thank you real quick for the awesome reception for the last two videos, the Magic Key and the Fluwandereeze deck profile that I put out yesterday and the day before. Thank you so much. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Suship, I'm so excited to get into this profile. I have some awesome replays for you guys, so stay tuned until the end to see those. But let's go ahead and just hop straight into this Suship deck profile. It's just starting off with our 3 Gunkan Suship Shari, 3 copies of Gunkan Suship Ikura, 3 copies of Gunkan Suship Shiaru, and 3 copies of Gunkan Suship Uni. Those are going to be our just main deck. Our main deck Suship lineups. They all have really cool effects that interact with each other. If you don't know, the main gimmick of Suships is to combine one of the base, one of the vanilla, the Sharis, with either your Ikura, the Shiaru, or the Uni to make your extra deck Suship monsters, the Ikura class, the Shiaru class, and the Uni class, that all have different effects that allow you to either if you have the Rice Suship, the Shari, as material for them, you get to draw a card, and then you get bonus effects if you have the corresponding other Suship as material for that as well. So we'll go ahead and just get straight into it. We're running 3 copies of the Shari. Our hand trap lineup is pretty standard. As always, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash, and 3 Imperm. We're running the 2 Called by the Grave because our effects are kind of dependent, and our end boards are very dependent on if we can get our effects to go through, so we want to make sure that we get that as often as possible. So we're playing 2 Called by the Grave in our hand trap lineup, which is good. We're playing the 2 Rescue Rabbit because we are running the Gunkan Suship Shari, and we want to see as many of those on the field as possible to get extra draws from our big extra deck Suships and get the effects on there. Running 3 the Rescue Rabbit. We are running 3 Performage Hat Tricker. The only reason we're playing this is just for extension, because this is a weird rank 4 deck, so we want to get bodies onto the field, even if we aren't able to make our extra deck Suships the more optimal way. We want to be able to get bodies onto the field to make as many as possible to go through our combo lines. Now, Gunkan Suship Ikura, really good card, probably the best of the 3 if I had to say. So if you control Gunkan Suship Shari, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can only special summon it once per turn that way. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, you can either add to your hand or special summon one of the Gunkan Suship Shari, which is this guy right here. And there are ways to manipulate what cards are on the top of your deck with your Gunkan Shipyard, the field spell, as well as a couple different things. So there is that, and then if you reveal it, you just special summon it to your side of the field, and then you can immediately go into other plays there. So that is the Gunkan Suship Ikura. Next up is the Gunkan Suship Shiaru. If you control Gunkan Suship Shari or an Xyz monster that has Gunkan Suship Shari as material, you can special summon this card. And then during your main phase, you can special summon a Gunkan monster from your hand. So if you open this and the Ikura, or that and the Shari, or the Uni, whatever it may be, you can special summon it from your hand. So just really good for extension as well. And then after that, you can take any number of Gunkan Suship Saris from your deck or graveyard and place them on top of your deck in any order once per turns on those. So like I was saying, there are ways to manipulate how we get the Shari on top of our deck for, you know, the excavation for the Ikura effect. But yeah, really good cards. So the last of our main deck Suship lineups, the Gunkan Suship Uni. You can reveal one other Gunkan card in your hand. It can be the field spell, it can be the Ikura or the other one, but you're going to want to have it be the Shari if at all possible, because if you special summon this card, and then if it is the Shari that you revealed, you can special summon the Shari, or if it was not the Shari, you have to place the other card at the bottom of the deck, so you'll take a little bit of a negative there. So if you can reveal the Shari, if at, you know, if at any point you can, that is probably the best way to go about that. But the more important part of this, you can target a Gunkin monster you control, which includes itself, and change its level to 4 or 5. Then you can add a Gunkin Suship Shari from your deck to your hand. So really good for advantage in manipulating the levels of the Uni or anything else. If you want to make your Ikura class or the Shiaru class with it, you can. But the rank 5, the Uni class Super Dreadnought, is a rank 5, and that's how you make that. You get the extra effects if you use the rank 5 for that. So just really good cards, really cool just ways to go about playing. Staples running Monster Reborn and Terraforming. We want to see the field spells, so we run the Terraforming. 3 Unexpected Die because we are running the Shari, which is a vanilla monster. We want to see it as soon as possible. 3 Potted Desires. I was running a couple other of the pots that banish from the extra deck, but I just figured that Pot of Desires was going to be the best way to go because we are playing so many 3-ofs. It just makes more sense. So your field spell, really important card here. Once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Gunkin monsters, even during the damage step, you can place 1 Gunkin card from your deck to the top of the deck. So like I was saying earlier, for like the excavation effect of the Ikura, there are ways to manipulate how you get out your Shari or place that on top of the deck to go into the plays that you want to do. So, once per turn, if a face-up Gunkin monster that you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, activate this effect. Your opponent pays life points equal to that monster's defense in the graveyard, then you can apply this effect. Special summon a Gunkin Suship Shari from your hand, then special summon a Gunkin Xyz monster from your extra deck by using that card you control as material. So, really good, really cool way of just playing the game, and this archetype in general is just really good. So, that's the main deck. Super quick profile for the main deck. We'll go ahead and get into the extra deck now. So we have a lot of big boss monsters in our extra deck. We have the Utopic Future and the Utopic Future Draco, Utopic Draco Future package. Because we run the rank 4s, it's really easy to get out the Utopic Future Draco, and it is really good. Run the Abyss Dweller, just really good for, you know, cutting off for graveyard access. We run the Baguska for just, you know, stalling if we need to, because this deck does brick. It's not a very good deck at all. It's just super fun to play, and Baguska will stall out a little bit and maybe give you a turn or two to get the cards that you need. Run in 1 number 60, just because we want to see as many cards as possible, and if we are able to get Dugaris on the field, we can cycle through our deck a little bit. Run in 2 of all of the Gunkin Suship extra deck monsters, so we're running 2 of the Ikura, 2 of the Shiaru, and 2 of the Uni. Now, what do they do? So, all of them have that same effect of that you apply the effects in sequence. And they all share the same effect, that if Gunkin Suship Shari is used as material, you draw a card, so just really good for advantage. The secondary effect, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. And then the really cool part about this card is that once per turn, when your Gunkin's monster's special summon from the extra deck inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. So it doesn't have to be the Ikura class, it can be anything else. And all of this is showcased in the replays that I have at the end of the video, so please be sure to stick around for that. So just really good for removal, really good. The Shiaru class Carrier, also really good. Draw a card, and then the secondary effect, you can add a, if the Shiaru is used as material, is you can add a Gunkin spell trapped from your deck to your hand. While a face-up card is in the field zone, Gunkin monsters you control special summon from the extra deck, so all of your carriers and destroyers and everything gain attack equal to their original defense, which is pretty nice. And then the third one, the last one, the big Uni class Super Dreadnought, 2 level 5 monsters. You draw a card if you have the Shari, and then if you have the Uni attached to it, you can attack directly with this card. So that's real good. And then there is actually a little bit of interruption with this thing. So during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, which is a little bit weird, I wish they didn't put that restriction on it, but quick effect, you can target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Gunkin monsters you control that were special summoned from the extra deck, negate their effects. So pretty good. If your opponent has like a floodgate type deal, you can use this on your turn to negate that effect from that monster, and it's just really good. So those are going to be your the dreadnoughts and the carriers and all of the extra deck Suship cards. So after that, we're playing 1 Zeus. It's very heavily an Xyz focused deck, so we want to run the Zeus. Bujinki Ahashima, two monsters with the same level 4s. It can't be used as link material, but when this card is link summoned, you can special summon 2 monsters with the same level, one from your hand and one from the graveyard, negate their effects, but then you immediately Xyz summon using those 2 monsters only. So it's just good for, if you have a play you can make, but you can't get out, say, your like a card from your hand. That's a really good way to go ahead and just summon out what you need to summon. And then if an Xyz monster this card points to activates an effect by detaching material, you can target a spell or trap your opponent controls and destroy it. So just a cool little tech to run. And then Nightmare Unicorn and Access Code Talker for finishing off the extra deck and being able to just do the plays that we want to do to close out games. So this is Suship. I have had a ton of fun with it. I hope you guys do too. Not a serious deck at all, but I really enjoy it. And we'll go ahead and hop into the replays right now. We'll see you in just a sec. All right, so first of the 3 replays that I have for you today, and really I just found games that I really enjoyed and thought were really cool, just showing how the deck works, and we'll get straight into it. So Terraforming is going to get us a second copy of the field spell. We're going to use the effect of the Pot of Desires, banishing 10, and then drawing 2, getting an Ash and an Uni. We're going to activate the effect of the field spell, normal summon the Shiaru, placing a Shari on top of our deck, using the effect of the Shiaru to special summon out the Uni, and then using the effect of the Uni, we can add the Shiaru to our deck, making the Shiaru level 5, and then we can overlay for our big old, this dude, the Super Dreadnought, which is really cool. So after this, there's not a whole lot else we can do. The hands are either really explosive or they're really not, so from here, we really just have to pass. So we're going to set our Called by the Grave and pass it back to our opponent. We have Ash in hand, so we're not looking too bad. So we're going to see what our opponent is going to be doing. So they're going to normal summon the Cypher Twin Raptor. Using the effect, we are going to Ash it. And that would have allowed them to get out a Cypher monster from the deck. So that is a really good way to cut that off. And from here, they're just going to go ahead and pass turn back to us. So our turn, we are going to draw for turn, get another Ikura, which is really good. Normal summon out the Shiari, use the Shipyard to put a Shari on top of our deck, special summon out the Ikura, and then use the effect to excavate the top 3, and then special summon that Shari that we put on top of our deck using the field spell. So now we can go into a Ikura class Destroyer, using the effect to draw a card, special summon out that Hat Tricker that we just drew, and then we can go into the Shiaru class Carrier. It's as easy as that. So on summon, we're going to be able to draw the card, and then because of the effect, we have the field spell. All of our monsters are boosted up attack-wise based on their defense, and we are looking pretty good. So we're just going to go to battle and get over this direct attack here, and we're going to be able to attack twice with the Ikura ship and then get in for game with the Uni class Destroyer. I love how this deck plays, and it's really good plays like that make me love this deck. Alright, so second of the 3 replays that I have for you now. This one was a little bit weird, but it was still a really fun game. So first things first, we are going to be going first. Normal summon out the Rescue Rabbit, and they are playing the Usartix. So the thing here is that they're using the effect in hand, pitching to summon, and then the on-summon effect of this guy will allow them to special summon a Usartix from deck, I believe is how that works. So I went ahead and just chained the Max C that we opened, but unfortunately for us, they had a secondary effect, and the way that the chains worked out, they were able to play around Maxi, which is completely fine for what we want to do right now. Maxi will resolve, and then this guy will be able to add back the card that they sent to the graveyard. But from here, Rescue Rabbit, the effect will activate, and we'll get out 2 copies of Shari from our deck, and then overlay into a copy of the Ikura class, allowing us to draw another card, which is the Desires, which is a good rip. We'll activate the Desires and get two cards, Monster Reborn as well as the Terraforming, and then the Terraforming will get us the field spell. We'll activate the field spell, and then I forget to set both of these Infinite Impermanence, which it ended up working out fine. I just thought it was kind of funny to include this as well. But they're gonna go ahead and set a scale and then normal summon in set 1. Not able to get around what we're doing, so we're gonna go ahead and just draw. Normal summon out our Shari, activating the effect of the field spell to stack a card. I think it was the Ikura that we stacked. We're gonna special summon out the Hat Tricker and then go into a copy of the Shiaru class. Shiaru will be able to draw us the card. And then from here, what we can do is we just go into the Utopic Future as well as the Utopic Draco Future, which is just a really easy way to get it out. We're going to Monster Reborn back our Suship Shari. We're going to get that out, and then the Ikura will be able to special summon itself out, use the effect to no avail, and then we're just going to go ahead and go into another copy of the Ikura class, the Dreadnought. Dreadnought will be able to get us an additional draw, and then battle phase, we're going to go ahead and use the effect to, when it deals battle damage, to pop a card on our opponent's side of the field, and then it can make it a second attack, and we'll get in for 3,000 points of damage. Looking pretty good. I remember to set the infinite impermanence this time, and then we're able to pass it back to our opponent, and they just go ahead and scoop from there. But this really just shows the explosive, just what the deck is able to do, and it's pretty explosive if it's able to get off to the races. But we'll go ahead and get into the last replay. Alright, so getting into this last replay, and we are actually playing a meta deck, so we're going to see how well we fare against Sword Soul, actually. So we're going first. We're going to activate Rescue Rabbit. Rescue Rabbit will get us 2 copies of the Suship Shari. Activate the effect of the Shiaru, and then just getting out all of these different ones. So we're going to go ahead and activate the get out the Shiaru Carrier, getting us a draw as well as the field spell, special summon out the Hat Tricker, and then the Gunkin Suship, the field spell. Gonna go into the Ikura class Dreadnought using the effect to draw us an additional card, which is very nice. Using this so we can stack our deck, and we are gonna go for the another Ikura, which is nice. So we're going to special summon out the Ikura and then go for an Abyss Dweller, so putting that in defense, and then we're going to go for the Utopic Future line. So I'm just going to speed that up for just a second. There we go. So yeah, this is our end board. I wish we had another hand trap enable that would help us out a little bit more than just graveyard negation and 1 monster negate, but for what it is, it's definitely not the worst thing in the world. So we're going to go ahead and pass it to our opponent, and during the draw phase, we're going to activate Abyss Dweller, kind of blind Abyss Dweller, but pretty good. They're going to be activating the effect of the Tenyi, getting it out, and then normal summoning Incredible Ecclesia. And then from there, they just go ahead and attack over the Abyss Dweller. I probably should have put it in an attacker position. I was just weary of, like, I don't know what I was worried about. But they're going to use the effect of the Ecclesia, which we will chain the Utopic Future to negate that effect. And from there, I was just hoping for the best. Pot of Prosperity. They're going to be able to reveal the Max C, and a couple of Sword Soul names, and they're going to get Long One. Going to use the effect of the Long One, pitching, I believe, yeah, the Blackout. They're going to get out the Long One as well as the token, and then synchro into a copy of the Supreme Sovereign Changying. And then, of course, Fusion Destiny will be the last card in hand. So they're going to get out Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer and pass it back to us. So from here, what are we going to be able to do? So we're going to go ahead and draw Max C, and we can't really do a whole lot here. So what we end up doing is we just go ahead and attack into the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. And the reason that they didn't chain the effect to pop itself is because Utopic Future Draco cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, so it would have just done nothing. They're going to use the effect of the Phoenix Enforcer in the graveyard to revive itself during the next standby phase, but we are going to negate that with the Utopic Future Draco. And here's where I mess up a little bit. If I played this a little bit differently, I may have been able to do something a little bit better, but I set 2, and then I realized that I can go into Zeus from here. So I just go ahead and go into Zeus, and it's debatable on whether or not I should have waited until next turn to see what they wanted to do, but I was just feeling a little trigger happy, so I go ahead and activate the effect of Zeus and just clear the field, and now they are officially on top deck mode. Ecclesia will be added back to the hand because they summoned out the Phoenix Enforcer during the course of the turn. So another really kind of mess up that I had here, definitely a little bit of a misplay, as I shotgunned this copy of Maxi during the draw phase. And I should have waited for them to commit to a play, because as far as the board state is now, they go ahead and just pass it back to us. And then I realized that we're basically on top deck now, and this unexpected die is absolutely dead. So we go ahead and just set it, get in for 3,000, and pass it back to our opponent, and our opponent just goes off. So they go ahead and special summon out this copy of Vashuda to the field. Vashuda will be linked away for a copy of Monk of the Tenyi, and then they activate the effect of the Vashuda, bouncing our Zeus back to the extra deck. Getting out the Mo-Yi with the Ecclesia effect, revealing the Ashuna, getting their token, and then synchro into a copy of the Chai Shao. Chai Shao effect chain blocked by the Mo-Yi. Mo-Yi effect to draw one, and then the Chai Shao to add a copy of the Long Wan, of course. So after this, of course, the Long Wan will be able to come down, pitching the Ashuna, getting the token, going into a Baron. And after that, it's GG. So it's 1,200 to me. They're going to use the effect to get Vashuda back to the hand, and then after that, they basically have exact game. They're going to use the effect of the Baron to destroy the set unexpected die, and then get in for exactly game. So I wanted to include this one specifically because I feel like if I played it a little bit differently, I may have been able to win it. And you know, that's the cliched thing to say about basically everything. But I had a ton of fun with this, with the Gunkins, the Suships. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. I'm having a ton of fun with all the new Master Duel updates and content and stuff like that. And I will see you guys soon with more Master Duel content. Have a fantastic day, everyone.